turn up. Whitey a tan till skin burn up. Black gal a rub till vein come up. Tattoo time coloring book turn up. Man a roll out bicycle bike you no see. Man a roll out car and the truck and the jeep. You want foot thugs them strolling. Grab a gal body and start rolling.
Good night, St. Martin, and welcome to your favorite internet online program, www.SXMTalk.com, live and serious discussion. And of course, the seriousness starts here. I'm your host, Christopher Emmanuel. Let me welcome each and every one of you to the program. I hope you're doing fine. Tonight, we're going to be a bit mellow and a bit calm because there's some issues we want to talk about and really, get in depth about it and read the information that is going on about it, because I think it's something very important that I touched on last night, so I just want to continue a bit with it. But before we go on there, let me pick up a few of my friends. I got to touch up my girl, Lizanne. Ananda, how you doing? Apollonia, how you doing, girl? Haven't heard from you. Hope you're doing fine. Hope everything is well with you. I also got to touch my boy, Roots. How you doing? And my girl, Jennifer David. Good night, good evening to all you guys listening around the world. Welcome to the program. Like I said, I always say I'm going to take it calm and cool, but then the gloves does always come off. And I doubt tonight is going to be any exception. However, I know a lot of the guys out there gearing up for Carnival and partying and boogieing down and stuff like that. That's fine. That's cool. It's one of our biggest festivities. But I said it last night, whilst we are partying, walking up and carrying on, they're in the corners and in their groups and in the cartel planning on how they're going to divide and subdivide and chop up this island for themselves and who's going to get this and who's going to get that. So my thing is for us to be aware, to be vigilant, to look at what is going on, see the things that is happening in this country, and start to talk about it. But last night I started off talking about an issue with the central bank and, things that is going on there. And I know I'm going to get my boy Emilia Calmeida to come in on Sunday, who's versed with this sort of information. He'll be in with us on Sunday, God Spare Our Lives, talking about this issue. And I mentioned last night that everyone should get their hands on the paper, on the newspaper, the Daily Herald of the 19th. I would also encourage them to get their hands on the paper from today, the Daily Herald, the 20th, because there's a very interesting piece inside the paper, because whilst we are here quiet, sitting back, no one is asking questions, no one is querying, what this bond issue is all about, what does it mean? And I would want to say that many people is not questioning or asking because maybe they don't know about it. And for me, myself, I'm not too up to par with a bond. What is a bond? What's a bond issue? What does it mean when the central bank issue a bond and, $150 million, So getting Emilia in on Sunday, we can break down this whole central bank issue and get down in it in details. But the reason why I want to talk about it, because Curacao seems to be, individuals or politicians in Curacao seem to be very, very upset, very, very persistent with the central bank issue. So seemingly something is wrong. And we're going to get our leaders here in St. Martin saying, well, here goes Curacao again trying to keep St. Martin down because after the electorate got a big bond issue to them and they never made noise and they never do this and they never do that. My thing about that is this. Not because you never make noise, that didn't make it correct or that didn't make it right. If it was wrong, if it was something that is wrong, you should have made noise. You should have said something. But you see, here in St. Martin, we operate on such a sneaky and corrupt fashion, is leave them do their wrong because when we're ready to do ours, then they ain't got nothing to say. But I have a strong feeling, a striking feeling, that this is going to be a very, very big and serious issue. And I told you guys last night to hold on to the newspaper because this issue This bond issue is why the gasoline price is going up, is why turnover tax will be going up, is why GB bills will be going up, is why your taxes will be going up, is why your pension will be touched. This issue, because we are talking about a $150 million bond loan, right? But let me read what PS, which stands for Pueblo Ciudadano in Curacao, and the headline goes like this. Pueblo Ciudadano calls protests at Central Bank. Curacao Coalition Party Pueblo Ciudadano, PS, is organizing a demonstration at the joint Central Bank. Now, St. Martin, you see? Demonstration in Curacao, demonstration in Aruba, demonstration in Bonaire, demonstration in Sabre, demonstration in Statia. Because Statia have the issue with the gas company over there and the new holding tanks they want to put on. They had a demonstration. Sabre is upset with the way the Dutch is treating them. They had a demonstration. Only we here in St. Martin seems to be happy, joyful, like everything is correct. Now listen. Pueblo Ciudadano is organizing a demonstration at the joint Central Bank of Curacao and St. Martin this Saturday against the $150 million bond loan for St. Martin Harbor Holding Company. St. Martin Harbor Holding. The initiative comes on the heels of news that the Curacao appointed members of the CBCS, Central Bank of Curacao and St. Martin Supervisory Board, are boycotting a meeting called for the same day by their St. Martin appointed counterparts because they don't agree with the apparent intention to approve, among other things, the bond issue with a so-called repurchase facility. In addition, Curacao Finance Minister George Jorge Jamaluddin of MFK filed a complaint with the prosecutor's office against the CBS President Director Emsley Trump on Wednesday evening. He called the letter actions regarding the St. Martin bond loan unlawful because the loan violates the central bank's investment policy. Curacao board member Glenn Camellia had already questioned in a March 15 letter whether particularly the purchase facility whereby the central bank guarantees it will buy bonds not sold to third parties was legal. Now you see, St. Martin, I trying to get this understand. Here you have one country saying, no, it's all well, it's all fine. Here you have another country saying, look, listen, things have not been done well, things have not been done in order. And I could tell you this, only St. Martin right now is saving the good gentleman Emsley Trump from the central bank. Okay? The letter goes on to say, management read Trump had stated in a response recently that there's no obscurity about the validity of the investment policy. According to CBCS, a credit rating is not necessary to invest in a loan on behalf of St. Martin Harbor Holding because it involves a national investment. However, an analysis of the bank's article of association and investment policies show that there may be reason to doubt that everything proceeded legitimately. The statutes state that CBCS can invest its capital and reserves according to the rules that the supervisory board has set in the investment policy. Article 26 only mentions investment and doesn't make a distinction between national and non-national. The investment of its capital occurs on the basis of predetermined investment policy whereby it can only invest in indicated securities. However, the board did not determine an investment policy for 2012, and the last approved investment activity dates back to last year. The policy stated that the bank's investment activities are focused on maximizing return on its capital and must occur within a legally embedded restrictions within the scope of the monetary policy and the chosen risk limits. It further states that within such limits, all investments must fall into 4 determined categories: bond from foreign governments, governments guaranteed institutions, international organizations with a credit rating of AA3, and foreign banks with a credit rating of at least AA3. It appears the loan on behalf of the St. Martin Harbor Holding is outside these categories. The agreement is based on the 2012 investment policy. CBCS would not have been allowed to buy the bonds, let alone guarantee their repurchase against the rate of issue. The guarantee that CBCS sent in a letter to IAC Finance on February 10th would only be allowed in the bank's role, will only be allowed in the bank's role as lender of the resort, according to the explanatory memorandum of Article 10, Section 6 of the bank's Article of Association. In the letter, the acting board chairman, Rennie Maduro Camila, had also indicated that it's hard to make an appointment on an inquiry into actions of Trump. It is even suggested that Trump may be acting in bad faith. In a board decision of October 12 last year, it was determined that an inquiry, the page keeps disappearing, that an inquiry would take place according to Camellia. To enable this to proceed objectively and independently, it was determined that Trump would take a paid holiday. The letter states that Trump had unilaterally agreed, and the decision was handed to him personally on January 3rd. However, from various correspondence, Camellia assumes Trump is yet to honor the agreement and refuses to cooperate with the objective inquiry. This leans towards anarchism, Camellia wrote. The president doesn't honor a decision from the board based on its supervisory role and thinks he can attend a meeting with the same board. Even worse, the president thinks he can convene a meeting of the board on his own, right? But let me get to the issue of this, right? I want to skip out some parts of it because I want you guys to grab the newspaper and read it for yourself. But I want to come to this part. And it goes to say, and this is the end of it. He first came under fire a year ago when Prime Minister Gerrit Scotter revealed documents from which it appeared that $400,000 had been deposited into Trump's pension account from a loan of several million, which the boutique of his girlfriend had been granted without any collateral. Then there's the approval of a bond loan on behalf of the Curacao Utility Company, Aklelecta, of 300 million guilders in December 2009. And now, the guarantee for the St. Martin Holding bond loan of $150 million. Now, this is my thing about this issue, right? Here you have the Central Bank of St. Martin and Curacao, or Curacao and St. Martin. This is our central bank. This is where we have our reserves. This is where our money is deposited, is held. This is where they make the decisions monetary policies. One man, and I can't get it understand. Okay? The central bank have a board, have a supervisory board, have president. Okay? The central bank have individuals from Curacao and St. Martin on this board. All right? One man on St. Martin, one person on St. Martin, one man. Minister Tia Heiliger wants to build a bridge that I would go as far as to say 70% or even more of the population of St. Martin is not in favor of this bridge because we don't understand the added value. We don't see the reason for it. We don't see what we are getting for it. Okay? We see that government is out of whack with their priorities. One person. Come on, St. Martin. One person have the whole central bank right now. Two countries at odds right now in an uproar. One person. Minister of Infrastructure, Tia Heiliger. He haven't spoken to the people. He haven't convened with the people. He haven't had a discussion with the people. They had some kind of whatever to do meeting down in Simpson Bay where the majority of them walked out and was against it. And then they went and falsified documents and make it look as if, you know, some company from Breda come down and do up nice. And yeah, I just throw in that word falsify. But what I meant to say, they paint a nice picture. All right? That the bridge going to add this and the bridge going to add that. And I'm saying to myself, here we are as a young country, as a new country. This is where you're supposed to be putting your priorities and things in check. This is where you're supposed to be saying, look, listen, let us focus on education. Let us focus on affordable housing. Let us focus on roads. Let us focus on renewable energy. Let us focus on food. Let us focus on things that the people need. Let us turn our focus on the social aspect of our country. But no. For this government and these individuals, it's business as usual. Nothing has changed. Okay? And only he one can do projects. $150 million. And to make it sound good, right? With a buyback purchase. With a purchase buyback. What does that mean? How many of us in St. Martin understands that? What does it mean? Okay? So I am saying to St. Martin people, hold on to all your money. Right? Trust you me. Because of this bridge, you will be paying more to live in St. Martin. You'll be paying more. You'll be paying much more to live in St. Martin. Only solely because of one person. So here we have one person, okay, screwing up, messing up, destroying, and making the life in this country hard for everybody. One person. And for him, it doesn't matter because he lives good. Everything is at his fingertips. He's a millionaire. Money is of no object. So for him, it's just to make more money. Okay? It's just to make more money, milk more money off of the backs of the people. And that's what it is. And that's why every night I come here and I say to St. Martin people, wake up. So if they're going to protest in Curacao, right? Why we don't protest too? They are saying that this loan is not good. They are saying that this loan is not good. Okay? They are saying that listen, right? This is going to make things hard. But my issue, right, is that we are doing nothing. We are going about our lives every day as if things is well. And I know things are not well. Gas price just gone up again. And what is the reason? Growing tensions in Iraq. Growing tensions in Iraq. St. Martin people and everyone who listens, right? Take my number. 523-7348. Because I don't have all the answers. I wish I had all the answers. But I know for sure, I definitely know for sure, that many of you guys know, or you know it in all your heart, that things are not right. Things are not right. And you want to see something different. You want to see something change. I know. I know. Let us sit down. Let us talk. Let us discuss. Let us come together. Let us form a group. And not no Trump group because of like what you had Greg, we were just in farm because the election was coming around, and no. A pressure group. A group that means business. A group that's going to stand up to government, that's going to hold them accountable. We need to start to want to see things different in this country. We need to want to see things, being done in a different manner. It cannot be business as usual. The thing is this. Look at the hardship that you're going through now. Living from salary to salary. Look at it. Can you imagine? A husband is working, a wife is working, living in one house, and they can't save, and money is done by the 20, and by your money is done, and you're just waiting for another salary. But something is wrong with that, St. Martin. Something is definitely wrong with that. So how is it? And I can guarantee you that hundreds of people tomorrow will be showing up at that central bank in Curacao protesting. Hundreds of people. But when you call for us to come out and stand up here, we like ostriches, we bury our head in the sand. We bury our head in the sand. So these are the things that hurt. But the sad thing is that we are passing on. We are passing on this same type of attitude to our children. We are passing it on to them. So what you're going to have? You're going to have these same individuals who are in control now, who have the power now, okay? Their children will be controlling your children, our children, because of this attitude that we pass on to them. Don't question nothing. Okay? Don't bite the hand that feed you. Okay? They is in control. They got the money. You're working for they. No. No. That's a wrong way. That's a wrong way to think. Seriously, it's a wrong way to think. That's why I'm saying my policy, my solution is for us, and I seriously mean it. And I thank the few individuals who send me messages saying that they're ready to occupy Front Street. You can imagine the kind of message that's going to send throughout the Netherlands, Antilles, and to Holland. A big, massive, silent protest. Everybody with their tents round the courthouse. And look at the symbolism behind it. On one side, you have the legislative hall. On the other side, you have the hands of justice. And it's a message we're going to send. A message we're going to send. It is unacceptable. We are not pleased in the manner in which the government is running this country. We are not pleased. We don't want no coalition. We don't want no government to break up. And then no, what we are asking for is plain out new elections. Plain out new elections. An investigation to go on. Because we cannot continue as it is. St. Martin is in free fall. St. Martin is falling. St. Martin is at the edge. St. Martin is to the mouth of the abyss. And it's just one group of people, a handful of people, who is dragging St. Martin down that road. And the thing is, many of us know it. Many of us feel it. But we just keep silent. And that's when evil takes over. When good people remain quiet. When good people remain quiet, evil prevails. You see? And these are the things that are very disturbing to me. Because I look at my children and I say to myself, you know, what is it I'm going to pass on to them? What country am I going to pass on to that I'm going to leave to them? And you need to look at yourself and ask that same question. How many of you guys can get a basic loan, a small loan, an investment loan, a mortgage? No. But to buy a car, yes. To buy a car, yes. You can't purchase land on St. Martin no more. And if you do, it's $100 and $200 and $100 and something $1,000. In your own country, you have to be renting. In your own country, you have to go and look and ask foreigners for a job. In your own country, it's the only country where local people, St. Martin people, have to ask foreign people for a job. So the message is clear. One, we have a government that is out of touch and don't care. Because we have seen it. They simply don't care for the people of St. Martin. They don't care. What they do care about is the investment that they are making for themselves. That is what they care about. Yeah, and you know, it is sad sometimes that we have intelligent people in our country, and they go along just to get along, and then you hear remarks of you know, don't be stupid, boy. This is a man who's feeding you. And I say to myself, you know, this slave mentality, this inferior complex that we have continues. I know my boy Ras Kingston has always talked about this inferior complex. You know, it continues over and over and over. I can understand the 400 years of slavery, so it's going to take a very long time for us to break those chains. But I'm saying to each and every one of you, no man out there is more important or better than you, because you're just as equal. Just as equal. You breathe the same air and everything like everyone else. And I guess this is the reason why in the Bible they say it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Because this is what we have here in this country. Everybody just wanting to get rich. Money, greed. That's what we have in this place. We don't have that and if we do have that entrepreneurial drive and spirit, it is fostered by just greed. And it is sad, because the message we are sending to the youth, to our children, is that by all means necessary, get rich. Make money. And there's nothing wrong, because there's nothing wrong with making money. There's nothing wrong with making a lot of money. But the manner in which you make that money is what makes it wrong. Is what makes it wrong. When you go along with this sort of things that's destroying your country, destroying your land. There's other places in the world people are dying for dirt, holding on to a little piece of rock that they believe it belongs to them, that they believe is theirs, because that's the only thing that they have. And we here in St. Martin gives it away. We here in St. Martin allow one family, one individual to tell us what to do for it, about it, or how we should go about it. When they're just, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's truly sad. It's truly sad, and I guess someday we're gonna understand what I'm trying to say here over and over. But what I fear is that the time for that understanding is going to be too late. It's going to be too late. When we wake up, when we see what is going on, we will already lost everything. Everything would have already lost. So we're going to be strangers in our own country. Strangers. We're going to be the foreigners in our own country because we won't have nothing. We won't control nothing. Okay? Not even the political arena, the last stronghold that we can say we still control a bit. Not even that we will have. Why? Because we were sleeping too damn long. And with that sleep and slumber that we was in, we were stupid and ignorant with it also. Because everybody out there is busy running behind the dollar. So when we busy running behind a peanut. And we have a whole farm on the other side to take care of, but we don't want it. We don't want it. Because we leave in one man dictate and set the stage as to how our lives should be. Okay? And I could tell you this, not me. Not me. It's unacceptable for me. It's unacceptable for my children. It's unacceptable for my generation. No. And I'm going to keep preaching to them and keep letting them know, okay, that we have people in this country with a wicked and evil thought, wicked and evil mentality, and their ultimate goal is just to continue controlling you. Because they have been thought that way, they have been brought up that way. Is a family legacy and generation that was passed on to them. We are slave owners and they are slaves. We control them. We tell them what to do. And we have this built into us. Yes, master. Yes, master. And I'm saying, we had 400 years of this evil way of thinking. And it is time to break it. It is time to break it, and I keep saying it over and over. It's only one man on St. Martin want to build a bridge. And he want to build a bridge in your water. With your money. From your harbor. That's why I keep preaching it all the time. It doesn't belong to him. It doesn't belong to him. It belongs to all of us. How many of us can go and walk around and view the harbor and visit and see things? How many of us can do it? We can't do it. We can't go on the harbor and relax and have an ice cream and you walk with your children and you show them that you cannot do it. And what's the excuse? Oh, security reasons and terror attacks. That's the excuse. You can walk around in Antigua Harbor. You can walk around in St. Kitts Harbor. You can walk around in St. Thomas. You can walk around in many other, in the Bahamas. You can walk around. Only on St. Martin you cannot do it. Why you cannot do it? Because they don't want you to see the thing that is going on up there. They don't want you to know. Okay? So something that belongs to us, we are shut out from it. But his family and friends could walk around though. He could bring his people in them there and they can walk around. And I'm saying that these things are wrong. These things are wrong. This is a dictatorship. This is what is going on in this country. The man is a dictator. He is a terrorist. Because he's terrorizing this country. He's terrorizing the growth of the people in this country. And you all know it. You all know it. One man. One man. It's against the principles, the tenets, the philosophy of democracy where one man should control. It goes against the grain of democracy. And if we profess and brag and talk about freedom of this and democracy this and that, then let us show it. Okay? Let us show it. If you're against it, say that you're against it. And if we are all against it, remember $150 million. $150 million. The bond was issued for a project that's supposed to cost $40 million. But I don't want to get into the financial part of it because Sunday I want to tackle that issue with my boy, Calmeda. But I know for sure many of us are sitting at home and we are saying to ourselves, but what are you bringing a bridge here for? For what? And you guys can look around and say, but what about the schools? Listen to me. Our hospital here in St. Martin, we don't have an MRI machine. We don't have technicians. And I'm saying to myself, where is your priority, government? A bridge or a hospital? But you see, when we get sick, we have to deal with SVB. And they got to send us to Curacao or Venezuela. When he gets sick, he can fly first class to Miami. So why you see the difference? He ain't going Curacao in Venezuela. He ain't doing no operation here in St. Martin. He's not doing it. He going to Miami, Texas. Those are the places that they can afford to go. My policy and my belief is this. If the healthcare system is good for the ministers and members of parliament, then it should also be good for you. If it's good for them, it should be good for you. But this is only going to come about when we change the functioning, we change the mindset, we change the way of things are being done in this country. It cannot be business as usual. That's why I repeat myself over and over here all the time. Okay? Election and campaign for me starts now. It starts now. That's why I keep calling on ourselves. Let us organize. Let us mobilize. Let us send a message. We cannot continue like this. Seriously. And it's only going to get worse. Gas prices gone up twice in 1 week. Twice in 1 week. And what do the people do? We mumble, we grumble. But I'm not seeing the articles in the newspaper. I'm not hearing the people questioning the minister as to why and the reasons. So is it that we are just going to settle for rising tensions with Iran? That's good enough for us? Come on, St. Martin. I know that we are much better than that. And I would say it all the time. We deserve much better than that. It's unacceptable. And you know what is so funny about this? Let me say this. And that's why I always mention on our nature as being hypocrites at times. If this was the National Alliance government, the SHTA would have been tearing down the place. The Chamber of Commerce would have been tearing down the place. You would have heard Max Punt and all those kind of fellas and them calling them dummies and idiots, tearing down the place. But then again, what do you expect? Look at the color of those individuals. Look at who they are. You see? So everything ties in place. Once you're the right color, you could do whatever the hell you want. Because when the Alliance said it was going to raise the turnover tax by 1% for 6 months, it was hell and damnation. Everybody come down. The chamber decided it's unacceptable. They didn't stand for it. SHCA said, no way, no sir, can't be done. We're not going to take it. Max Punt, but these people are idiots, they are fools. How they want to do this? Here comes the coalition and decide to carry it to 2%. Everybody went quiet. What was the word from the chamber? Oh, well, we're going to monitor it for 6 months. It's over a year. It's over a year. Hypocrites. And these are the people that we are dealing with in this country. But what we have to do is shuffle them out. Okay? Boycott their areas, boycott everything. All right? Especially to that one family. That's what we got to do in this country. You see? But anyway, I don't want to be always here criticizing. I have a number of solutions, but I don't want to just speak things just for speaking its sake. All right? I want it to be explained to people, and let it be a debate where we can ask each other questions and we can add in and take out, because we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan. We need to have a vision as how we're going to move forward, how we're going to do things different. And my solution to all of this is that let us come together, because I don't have all the answers. I know many of you guys out there have answers, have things that you know can work. Let us put them together. Let us put them in place. Let us come together and discuss them and work towards them. You see? But I'm troubled, very, very troubled, with our laid-back, quiet attitude. I feel that's going to be our undoing. And when we do wake up and we do understand what have been done to us, I feel it's going to be too late. You know, and famously you're going to hear the saying, too late shall be the cry. I want to read an article in the opinion page from a gentleman named Russell A. Simmons. Right? And the article headline is, "What's up with cooking gas?" The article goes like this: I try to limit my articles in order not to become monotonous, but the negative things affecting the community are happening back to back, which makes it almost impossible for people to sit and just leave them go by. Many years ago, I went to Malawi to protect 8 people who were breaking a strike. One of them told me she makes $1. She could send home 50 cents for the rest of her family and live on the 50 cents here. I know about that. That mentality still reigns on St. Martin today, with all the negative consequences it brings about. People who literally negatively affected accept this because the way of uncontrolled life on St. Martin permits them to be able to work illegally and get away without paying taxes, so they can still send home money to help their family. Now, because of the effect the rise in the price of cooking gas has on a lot of those people whom I mentioned above, and listening to the comments out there, I thought of the concept more for less, which took me back to the beginning of Cost You Less. So I figured that, that it were possible to get some of those 500-pound bottles of cooking gas, even though it was still almost 3 or 4 times the price on Curacao and Aruba. It would be able to save roughly $100 per purchase. I was told that because of safety regulations, I would not be able to put those bottles in closely inhabited areas. Well, I am writing this article and I'm still laughing and asking myself, where is there a restaurant on St. Martin besides those in Simpson Bay area that is not in closely inhabited area? And I mean closely inhabited area. Because where there are restrictions, there should be conditions and permissions. I do not think I would amiss if I would ask the department that carries out these safety inspections and or issue these permits to explain this to the public, because as we have noticed, not all our political leaders respond well to what they deem rumors. For instance, what kind of permit could be had? Who could get this permit? What are the conditions under which one could acquire this permit? By submitting my opinion, I throw these things out there. One response was that I would be opening a can of worms because nothing is regulated correctly in that business of cooking gas. And no one is doing anything about it because that also would open a can of worms, and also because the kind of situation like mentioned in Mullet Bay strike. My question is, should we avoid opening a can of worms and protect the faithful? Two, whose decision continuously negatively affect the whole community. Everybody has to cook at some point in time. And you know why I read this article? It's simply because it comes down to the end where everything is opening a can of worms. And everything is opening a can of worms. Why is it opening a can of worms? Because something is not right. Something is not right. Open the blinking can of worms. Who cares? And I can guarantee you, St. Martin, listen here. Every time you touch an issue here that open a can of worms, I guarantee you, that is, you're going to always find the same people at the top, okay, of those worms. You're going to always find the same people who don't want those worms and them out. And let me tell you something, you know. Worms only eat one thing, you know. And whenever you see worms, you see flies. And flies does only hang around one thing. But everything on this island seems either not to be regulated, not seems to be corrupt, seems to be out of hand, seems to be in a mess. But how is it that we are living? Maybe that is what got the country running as it is. But I'm saying to myself, if we have tried it for the years that way, not being regulated, not being order, everything is corrupt, everything is bad, everything is out of hand, for goodness gracious, gosh, man, don't you think we should try it one way? Have things regulated, have things in order, have things properly done? What is it going to take just for us to try it? And the only way we could want to try it is if we sit down and we start to think different. That's my new slogan. St. Martin people, we have reached the end of the program. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the carnival, but enjoy it respectfully. God bless each and every one of you guys. I'm going to see you back here on Sunday. God's spare. Goodbye.
Summertime in a country, summertime in a